Good morning, Mounties. My name is Joseph Mendiola, and I'm back in the RHSTV studio. It's been a minute since we've done a show, but you know, about one more week until Christmas break. Everybody's anxious and excited, I'm sure. And you know, hopefully this last week of school goes very well for everybody. First off, we'd like to say congratulations to the varsity boys basketball team for defeating Mount Vernon at the Arvis Hoop Fest tournament last night. The Mounties will take on Blytheville on Friday and Southside on Saturday. Both of those games will be at 8:30 p.m. at the RHS Gym. And if you can't make it, check out our live stream on YouTube if you're interested in watching, you know. Earlier this year, students in Mr. Springwater's UAS class performed the robot rodeo at an RHS pep rally. RHSTV recorded some of the highlights for that. Let's go check it out.
We took the robot and we made it to be bucking. We put a cowboy on it. We wanted to make it to where we actually could put a buck and shoot, do everything that looked like a rodeo, and do it in 3 or 4 minutes. But have a good time doing it, but raise some money for our children's hospital. And that was a setup for us to basically use an old project that we did for competition, a robot, and we took the robot and then we just rearranged it, made it into a new configuration, and we made it bucking. So we actually now decided that we want to do something for the children's hospital. One project was to take our old equipment, our old robot, tear it down, make a new thing out of it, and reuse it.
The bull rider was the Mountie, and we kind of made him the symbol of RHS and that what we can do for other people, like giving the children's hospital that money so they can really help the kids that need it.
What I did was I helped build the bucking chute when it came to the pep rally.
Well, the robot rodeo was to display like TSA's involvement, which is kind of like with the robot itself, but also to kind of display our drone program, and that's where I come in, and I was one flying the drone.
Our next thing is coming up with a good concept. What are we going to do this robot? What's it got to do? And how we make it happen. The challenge when you start looking at doing the robots is always you got to program the little guy, you got to construct the guy, you got to turn around and have a good concept.
We can change that score.
This week, several students received recognition and cash awards for their excellence in AP Computer Science.
I think more than 20 people take the AP Computer Science test at the end of the year in May, and we had 12 people make a qualifying score, so that's 3, 4, or 5. And the Arkansas Department of Education released a grant for people that did pass the test in Arkansas to get money from the state. So it's to encourage coding, and I think that's part of the governor's efforts to encourage programming. So if you scored, I think we had 5 5s. If you scored a 5, you would get $1,000. If we had a couple 4s and a couple 3s to make up 12 people that passed. For 4, you got $750, and for a 3, you got $250. And on top of that, the school also got some money for each of those qualifying scores. I think in total, our school got about $1,900, and then the students, I think, made upwards of $8,000 in total. I was part of the 5 that got a 5 on the test, so I won $1,000, and it was just part of being dedicated to learning from Coach Anderson and everything that he was teaching, and it was in the Java language. And you know, we did those 5. We all did like programming competitions, and we did things outside of class to learn it better, and then just studying the material and learning how the test works, because it's a very different test when you're writing code with a pencil versus when you're just typing on a computer like we do all year long. So you kind of have to learn that process and knowing how to write all the symbols correctly. Programming I've never gotten into. I was one of the few that have jumped from never programming to the AP level, but he let us do that, let a couple of us do that. And so I just wanted to get into it. I've seen it before, and part of it was also the grant. You know, I'd heard about the money and why not make money while also learning. So I decided to go into the class, and I just immediately fell in love with it, and I'm taking it to other projects I've done outside of the school, and it's just been really fun coding.
So the governor several years ago started an initiative to get more kids into computer science, and one of the parts of that initiative is the AP Computer Science grant. Students who get qualifying scores, they get a 3, 4, or a 5 on the grant, are rewarded with monetary rewards. If you get a 5, you get $1,000. If you get a 4, you get $750, and if you get a 3, you get $250. So last year we had 19 kids who took the test, and 13 of them got qualifying scores. The ones that got 5s were Brad Campbell, Jack Norris, Ethan Potts, Trevor Scoggin, and Jacob Zito. And then we had Garrett Chrisman, Avery Jenkins, James Wynn, Josh Petum, Tyler Famachak, Brady Self, and Brian Vu, who also got qualifying scores. Okay.
We'd like to give a big congratulations to the RHS women's basketball team who got a big win Monday night against Lakeside.
Ashlyn Purcell. Number 13, Lily Duncan. Number 23, Alicia Covington. And number 34, Ruthie McKay.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. That was about the last thing we had for today's show. We hope you guys have a great weekend. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at RHSTV. And don't forget to follow your boy, Brother Joe, on Instagram. You can find me, just Brother Joe. You got it. Remember, Mounties? It's a great day to be a Mountie.